Okay, hi everybody. My name is Sarah and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I've dealt with anxiety and what has happened to me in the past year to make me feel very hopeless and stuck and basically not in a good place. So I'm going to just rewind it for you guys. I've always had anxiety. It's always something I've dealt with. It's something I'm always going to deal with, and I'm okay with that. But when it becomes to take over your life and you feel stuck and you can't get out of that circle that kind of manifests in your head, that's where I draw the line. So about a year ago, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety and I was holding a lot of it in. And it was from things that were out of my control. But at the time, I thought I was doing everything correct. Like sheltering myself away from things, not facing things, not dealing with things properly. And I guess that kind of boiled up into how I am now. And last February, so about a year ago, I was at work and I took a massive panic anxiety attack. And I remember walking past one of my workers saying, I don't feel very well. I feel a little dizzy. I think I need some water. And after that, it was my whole body shut down. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. It was really, really hard for me. And so that was about 2 hours of a panic attack that I had then. And it took me a long time to get grounded from that. I had to sit out back for about an hour. It was embarrassing. I cried in front of my coworkers. So yeah, that started happening. And ever since then, I've just been very disoriented, very dizzy, confused, a lot of mixed emotions that go on. I feel hopeless. Right now I have this thing right here and my cheek, it twitches. So it's like an eye twitch, but it happens right here. My mouth gets really dry. Feel like I can't breathe. So those are about half of my symptoms that I do get on a day-to-day basis. I still work full-time. I still have friends and I still have a life. My balloons are a little weird, but I just celebrated my 25th birthday. It was so much fun. We went bowling. I have an amazing group of people that support me and that I also support. So that was amazing, but I can't get out of my head. And that's the issue that I'm having, is I can't pinpoint what is going on, because I've always had anxiety and I've always dealt with anxiety. It's the physical symptoms. It's this twitch. It's feeling like I can't breathe. It's a hypochondriac where I just think that there's all these things wrong with me, and I've been in and out of the doctors, in and out of the hospitals. Nothing is wrong physically. I am a bigger girl. I'm 25. But nothing is severely wrong. And my brain won't let that go. It just wants to keep telling me that there is something wrong. You need to go see somebody. I've had chest x-rays. I just had an endoscope. I don't know if you can tell. I still have the bruise from where they put the IV in. I've had everything done. But for some reason, nope, Sarah, you can't feel okay. And I've been stuck, and I'm still fighting with myself constantly. I have a psychiatrist. I go see a counselor. I do free counseling with my city here. Talk to my friends, talk to my families, talk to my pharmacist, talk to my manager. It's really, really hard. It's really hard. And hopefully posting this video, if I do, will maybe helps some of you guys, or you guys can leave comments or reach out to me and talk to me about your symptoms, or because along the lines of having this anxiety this past year, or my panic attacks or my episodes or my general anxiety disorder, I've developed depression because I gotten to the point where I didn't want to wash my hair. I didn't want to do my makeup. I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to get dressed. I'd go to work. I'd be physically drained, emotionally drained from work, and I would come home and I would sleep. Why is this a life that I am living as was a 24-year-old, now 25-year-old? I don't know. And I'm just tired, and I'm physically drained. I've got headaches all the time. And yes, I've had my brain checked, or CT scan, or whatever you call it. There's nothing there. Everything's good. But I'm not okay. And I'm having a hard time figuring out what's working for me and what's not working for me. And so, yeah, I don't know if I've missed anything, or, I mean, there's so much to say, and maybe I'll break this up into a few videos if people wanted to see it, or maybe it's just a nice therapeutic opening for me to just kind of get myself out there, and because I am a fun person and I like to do fun things, but it's made it really difficult. It's made it really difficult with how I've been feeling. So I think on that note, sorry for the terrible lighting. I don't really know how to film a video, or I don't own expensive flashy things and lights and camera and action, so I just kind of made it work, and hopefully this is good enough. If anybody can, that's from my birthday. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, or this was a really shitty video, and I apologize, because my brain, aside from that, of course, my brain is always all over the place, and I can never think one thought at a time. There's multiple thoughts that go on in my head, or there's nothing that goes on in my head, and when people ask me questions, I get really spaced out sometimes. So yeah, just let me know how everybody else is doing, and I would like to talk to people about, you know, what works for them and what doesn't work for them, and what they've done to overcome these things. And sorry, just it twitches underneath my skin. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a good night.